a podcast designed to entertain, educate, and inspire. My name is Roy, and I had the pleasure with sitting with two of the greatest guys ever in podcast history. Guys, I'm speaking of you, not speaking for you. Introduce yourselves.
Y'all already know now. Y'all already know what I'm finna say. I'm Brandon. I'm a passionate one. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe, y'all, because we definitely gonna make you entertained, inspired, and informed.
So I'm Jeremy. It's episode 34. So you guys should still know me. Have a good time, fellas.
All right, episode 34. I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm calling this the Shaq episode. Uh, let's going forward. Whatever that number is, let's say if it resonates with any of you guys for any reason. Reason I say the Shaq episode, when Shaq went to the Miami Heat, previously he was number 33, but out of respect to Alonzo Mourning, he said Alonzo's coming back. I'll take 34. They both got drafted in the same year. I believe the order was Shaq, Christian Laettner, then Alonzo Mourning. So they ended up teaming up together in Miami and bringing home a championship. So yeah, I call it the Shaq episode. Does 34 resonate with any of you guys for anything?
Not at all.
I
Not at
can't
all.
think of nothing off the top of my head. Not 34.
No, not at all.
That just goes to show you how my mind be. Um, we got a great show planned for you guys. We're gonna introduce a couple of new segments. Uh, our list is gonna be all over the place. So, further ado, what I want to do is start locally with local Illinois or say Chicago politics. Our mayor's acting up. If you even if you're not in Illinois, you've probably seen it on your local news where a fight broke out at a council meeting, and Tiffany Hayner, who's under investigation for like misappropriate use of funds, she was called a bitch during a town hall meeting, and fist was thrown, punches was thrown. I think I saw somebody's weave fall off. Did you guys see the video?
Yes, and I just want to say, you gotta do it. You gotta do it right, because he said, "All in favor, say aye," and everybody said it. And he's like, "You gone, bitch."
Uh,
You gotta do it. You gotta do it right. But I just think it's a bad light on her in general, because it just shows like how much the people in her own city is just hate for her, how she's misuse of funds, all the stuff that's coming out after Lori Lightfoot's report, misuse of credit card funds, Amazon funds, vacation funds, and it's just crazy. It shows a bad light for politics in general.
you know what
So
you
Aaron, I just saw the video, like a quick snippet.
mhm.
I didn't know like she was fighting to herself. Like she actually
Yes.
charged a group of men and started
So
swinging. Like so.
the guy called her a bitch, and her boyfriend went,
Yeah.
approached them, and they started going at it. Then yeah, she got in. This unfortunately is the representation of, and we got to call it Chicago, even though it's Chicago suburbs. This is how we get down. We throw fists. Yeah, she's definitely gonna get her due. The things she's done, the misappropriate use of funds, it's going to catch up to her. She had the trips, the luxury, and all that stuff. It's all going to be short term, and it's going to be taken away in some manner or form. So, yeah, enjoy that while you can. And then we take a little trip, 25 minutes up south to the city of Chicago. We got Mayor Brandon Johnson. Don't trust a nigga named Brandon Johnson. I swear to God, I speak from experience. He tried to set me up with a goon and her three thugs. We'll fill you in on that later, Jeremy.
No, I think I
No.
know. I think I know.
So
We'll do that. We'll do that off camera. Off camera.
no, the exclusive content, the 7.99 content,
Yeah.
the after show. Subscribe and you get to hear all the juicy details. So no, in Chicago, we got a mayor, Brandon Johnson, has the same name as one of my partners in crime. he has been accepting gifts, and as the mayor, you're supposed to report these gifts, but yet he's been keeping it hidden. So they tried to, I ain't gonna say bum rush the city hall office, but they tried to do a surprise visit to take account for these gifts, and they weren't let into his office. They were told to go through the proper channels and make an appointment. Basically, and if you watch Chicago politics, he's really. I had high hopes for him. I had the best hopes for him, but at the end of the day, he's showing his true side. At the end of the day, he's a politician, and at least Lori Lightfoot added a couple of years of mystery or the cloud before she showed her true colors. But yeah, he's definitely going to be a one-term mayor. And I just want to say personally to Mayor Brandon Johnson, we see through your bullshit. You can't hide no more. We see through the bullshit. You're making it so clear and evident that I really don't need these glasses, but I see the other bullshit that you're really trying to hide. And unfortunately, you know what? You're taking your legacy. Your kids are probably getting bullied at school, and you're making us look bad. You had a chance to do things right and make a change. Now, I understand, and my perception is there's a lot of things that goes on behind closed doors, in the world of Chicago politics. That's why we're called the City of Wind. It's not because it's the windy city. The City of Wind is the wind that's blown by the politicians. Look that up. That's an actual fact.
Yeah,
The wind,
yeah.
the blowing the wind up your ass, making promises, and then when you get the chance to make good on them, you don't. At the end of the day, you're a politician. I'm sure it's people pulling your strings. Being a Chicago mayor is a big deal. Rahm Emanuel, who was Barack Obama's chief of staff, when he learned that Jim Daley was not going to renew his run again for another term, he quickly resigned as the chief of staff just to run for mayor of Chicago because he knows the profit, the bonuses, the perks of being a Chicago mayor. One thing I can say about Jim Daly, and I'm not old, at least he kept the streets clean. When it was snow on the ground, he had those plows out. You guys be conserving salt like it's yours, like we're gonna have winter for 6 months. It's real ridiculous. Uh, Jim Daly was a no nonsense mayor. Yes, allegedly he was taking bribes under the table, extending favors, but you're not even smart enough to hide it. One term mayor, in and out. So that's all I got for Chicago politics. You guys want to touch on that about Brandon Johnson? Don't try to
Well, I
defend him
just
because y'all
want to,
got the same namesake.
nah, I just want to say I had high hopes for him as well. But he just coming in, showing the power he has, and not having really no plans in place. For instance, the spot shooter taking it away just to take it away, showing no real plans to replace it with nothing useful.
Make no sense.
Excuse me. It just to me, it's like our current president is just showing power just to do stuff. The Gulf of
Error.
Mexico, the Gulf of America. But it's just to me, he's useless. He really should be, forced out. I don't know if you can vote a mayor out or not, but he definitely should be voted out.
I would guess the
Like
city
he needs
council
to.
could do a vote of no confidence.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. Nothing has gotten better like he promised. Nothing has gotten better. So it's definitely a time for him to go.
Whether you're a team leader, a supervisor, a manager, a mayor, you're in a position to make change. Um, Not only help those along that just need that push, to get recognition and get out there, but to do something good for the community. That's your job in the first place. You're supposed to do right about the community. In this case, the city of Chicago, and you're not. Everything seems about business and bucks to you. He tried to raise the property tax. Every mayor uses that as a cop out, but he got voted down for that. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's an abuse of power to me. Uh, Me being in a position I am, I try to help along everybody that's showing desire to grow, cause I have that position of power. That was told to me by my supervisor years ago that given the chance to help people along the way should be a privilege when you have that power to do so. And you're just getting in, you're just thinking about yourself. They ran off a list of items that was gifted to him, and some of it was ridiculous. But the only thing I can remember was like some alligator shoes or something, if I'm not correct. But bottom line, and I'm not going to put too much time and effort into this, you know, city of Chicago, whether it's the south suburbs or whatever, y'all crooked as fuck. It's that's all I can say. You crooked as fuck. Moving along, we're gonna take it to the West Coast. LA's been enduring the fires lately, where homes were lost, lives were lost, property was lost. Now that the fires have ceased, all that soot and ash or whatever, they got incoming rain, which has the potential to have dangerous mudslides. So right now, LA can't catch a break. You know, it's not even safe to pick up a transvestite in Hollywood anymore because of the incoming weather. Sorry, Eddie.
What the?
Y'all should know. Y'all should know by now. Y'all should know by now. But yeah, seriously, it's one thing after another, and I more have a soft spot for the average Joes or the unfortunate, the homeless. I'm not worried about the Jay Z's of the world and people with these $1 million homes, high tech and everything. We're talking about regular people with regular homes that's their only home. It's probably their first, probably the only home by luck that they got it. And now it's if it wasn't lost by the fire, it could be lost or damaged by these mudslides. So, you know, kind of sending a shout out to those guys. Hope it all works out for you. Now we're gonna take it to the East Coast. Well, yeah, last night there was a tragic airplane crash in Washington, I believe right over the Potomac, if I'm not mistaken. It involved a passenger plane and it involved a military Black Hawk helicopter. That's sad. And from my understanding, the plane was just in the process of doing an average landing, something the pilot's probably done, you know, that he does pretty much every day, except for the days off. So he's probably logged hundreds of hours. An unfortunate incident. What was the Black Hawk helicopter doing there? Is that normal for it to be flying over, that low or whatever in that area? What were they doing out there
It
regardless?
was it was a training. The Black Hawk helicopter. It was his training. He was getting trained on that. That's the story that's being put out. So that's uh,
Well, you know what? I saw Iron Man and they tried to hide the Iron Man and said it was a training exercise, a military training exercise. Terrence Howard, don't trust that motherfucker. No, but seriously though, if it was training, there should be communication. Hey, we're going to be doing operations. We're using this area. Let your pilots be more cognizant, or let's schedule it. Let's communicate. That's all you had to do. Lives
that's
lost
what.
tragically.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's what
Oh,
air traffic control is for. Like they're supposed to keep everybody in order in the skies. I don't. That's why I don't
but
truly understand.
do they control the military though when they're doing operations? No matter what, there should be some form of communication.
That's a shit. That's why I don't understand how this would have occurred. But when more details come out, we'll definitely inform the audience as well. So it's
I bet
definitely
I bet it was a
tragic.
woman pilot too.
Oh, here he go. Here he go. Here he go.
I only do it for
Yeah.
shock value. That's not really how I feel.
Hey,
At the end of the
hey,
day, send
hey,
all your
Jim, we're gonna have to put
complaints
out
Yeah.
we're gonna have to put a disclaimer. We in no way associate with
with the views of El Royale. No, that purely a joke. At the end of the day, lives are lost. It doesn't matter who.
Yes.
It's people not going home to their families. It's probably the last conversation you had with them was an argument, and now you can't come back from that. So, in general, just a sad occurrence. Again, prayers go out to the family. Um, yeah, just sad.
Not to make it seem like one life is more valuable than the other, but I should mention that there were U.S. and Russian skaters and coaches on that plane that were coming from a training flying home. So that's definitely a tragedy there, you know.
So is it wrong to
And
say I wish the person that handles my home loan had the master copy on that plane and it all blew up too? So I'd be free of paying my mortgage.
This
No,
boy
you
needs
finna
some.
get us canceled. You
too
finna get
soon.
Yeah,
us
he's
canceled.
banging.
No, it's just me.
You finna get us
Senseless
canceled.
humor. I'm sorry, but no. Let's move on to some other things. You know, we're not even what 2 weeks in fully with Donald Trump being the president of the United States. And so much is going on. And as promised, he has started his round of deportation of immigrants. One said incident being deporting uh, immigrants of Colombian descent that have been accused of violent crimes or rape or murder or robbery or whatever, or people that he found undesirable, were sent were they were sent home in attempt to be sent home back to their country of Colombia. They did not allow them access to land. So I guess they had to double back and figure out what they were going to do. And so the alternative now is they're reopening up Guantanamo Bay, which houses what 30,000
30,
people.
yeah, 30,000 beds. Yeah,
Hey, but look,
that's
don't worry. If Will Smith and Martin Lawrence can get past the minefields and got to Guantanamo Bay, you guys can escape too. Bad Boys
do
too. Come
you?
on now, didn't y'all see that? Come on.
Yeah, now we see it.
Hey, I got
No,
a question I want to ask you guys based off of this though. Do you think they just doing all these arrests? Because for instance, I'll bring out the statistics of it. It's 753 average arrests per day from ICE, and then 563 detains, people being detained for from ICE per day. So you think they're doing all this mass, I don't want to call it, I guess I can call it incarceration from
or
ICE just to
deportation.
have yeah. Well, it ain't really deportation because they ain't sent them nowhere. They just
Well,
kind of
some
housing them
have,
up. They round them up.
some
Yeah,
have been
some have.
deported out.
Some have. Yeah, some have. But it ain't the numbers. The numbers ain't adding up to what's being detained and then what's being sent away.
I don't think
My
they're
question to
actually
y'all is
releasing numbers though.
What's your question?
they release numbers. They release numbers. But my question to y'all, do you think they doing all these mass arrests just to round people up and put them in concentration style camps like
I
Guantanamo Bay?
Yeah, so to answer your question, I think it's both. If you recall, I think a couple weeks ago I mentioned before Trump got elected, maybe a week before, actually right after he got elected, the prison system stocks went up. So they already had this planned out, it's gonna go this way, right? So a lot of money was invested in prison once was elected. And I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but after that Colombian whatever we want to call it, Trump said he imposed a tax on them immediately, and that deal
Tariffs.
was brought, yeah, tariff was brought back. So now they have this exchange where they can fly the prisoners or detainees back to Colombia. And he said he started at 25% tariffs, and he may increase it to 50 depending on how that goes, but that's all it.
Yeah.
And it's Colombia, they can impose the tariffs right back though. And I don't know why they're waiting.
But
Because
so what import do they have besides cocaine that we buy from them?
no, no. The thing is, Brandon. Like I was looking at that. Like I had the same question. I was looking at it. Did you know that Colombia biggest export is to us? It is to America.
Yes.
Like 30% of their GDP comes from Americans. So that give Trump more of a leeway to be able to impose those tariffs. You know what I mean? Because he can say, okay, well, you losing 30% if you want to play this game. You know what I'm saying? So it's that's how it goes. I don't know.
Is this
that's the
major
one
export coffee?
What was it?
It's more on other things than
I don't think it's
coffee,
coffee.
I think.
I think it
Coffee
was
is one of
oil,
them.
to be honest.
It's one
I think
of them.
petroleum. I think petroleum was the leading one. Petroleum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think this is the only time I can say something good about Trump. He's a great businessman. He know how to play that game of tactics, basically. You bluffing,
Yeah.
I'm gonna call your
I'm gonna
bluff.
call your bluff.
He know how to play that. Yeah. He know how to play that game. That's the only time I'm gonna say something good about Trump.
He was good at dodging, somewhat good at dodging bullets too.
Jesus Christ.
So also in the news about Donald Trump, he's trying to introduce to the House for a possible eligibility for run for a third term. I don't know if I want that. If not, that means Barack Obama's available too to run.
Nope, he can't. He can't. He put, if you guys look over again, he put in like stipulations where if you were the president like 8 consecutive years, you can no longer run. Like he actually put it in fine print. So that
Okay,
excludes Obama. It excludes Clinton.
he
Anybody
does.
who he feared, it actually like excludes them. You know what I'm saying? So that was pretty, I don't know, genius, you could say genius, and basically I don't know, boastful. But one more thing I found is I didn't realize that the representatives, Republicans only hold the House by maybe 2%. So in order to pass this bill, you need to have 2/3 of the entire House and plus Senate. So this can't happen unless about 90 Democrats approve it as well. You know what I'm saying? So it would never happen unless Democrats also say okay, which they probably won't, because right now he's a leading runner to win if he was to
So
have a third term.
so that's true, but it's not true. And let me explain what I mean. Not every Republican really backs Trump. Way before, when the election was going on, they were trying to find anybody to run but Trump. So there are people that oppose Trump and for the way he does things. So you might have a few Republicans that vote against him on things that he proposes that goes to Congress or to the House of Representatives. So I'm sure he has backing, but he doesn't have 100% backing of the Republican Party.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying,
So
like, in order to pass that bill, because in the Congress, he has to have 2/3 total. So
mhm.
that means he need all his Republicans and then 90 or so Democrats. It would never happen. You know what I'm saying? It's just I don't see it happening. Like it would never happen.
Well, that's actually a good fact to know because I was just being a person who's I ain't optimistic, but I wouldn't say pessimistic either. But I just don't know how it's gonna
I
go when
like
you
Pepsi.
you got when you got the Senate and you got the House and you have the courts. Like the courts, I felt like would be all inside, but I am positively excited about the fact that the federal court blocked his freeze on the grants and the loans. I did see that, so I am excited about that. So that they are doing right things. It isn't just like all Trump.
You
So
know,
that's
I'm glad you brought that up because I didn't write that down. But how heinous is that to do? To take away basic necessities that we live on. If not, you know, the government, well, I'm sure that's going to change. The government gives away millions of dollars in foreign aid on the daily. You wouldn't imagine how much money. Okay, I sound like Trump because he uses words like that. You wouldn't imagine how many. It's a lot. But no, you wouldn't. They send a lot of money overseas, and in my personal opinion, are they just trying to be buddy buddy with these countries so they can, you know, ask for favors later? Can they set up military bases? Possibly. There's got to be something to it, but I'm a firm believer in we should take care of us as America first, and provide aid to those people in need. There's people homeless that have job skills, and the only thing that's preventing them from getting a job is having a physical address. I mean, you don't know, anything could have happened, and they fell on hard times. If they just had a place to lay their head and receive mail, they could be productive members of the society. So let's take care of us first. But he's not doing that because he's taking away all these programs, Head Start, WIC, uh, Meals on Wheels, all these programs designed to help people along. He's taking it away. That's cold and heartless. That's just he
I have
might
a
as
question. I have a question because I haven't seen too much about it. So in this order, executive order, is he trying to take it away in totality, or is he taking away from the federally? And it's saying the state has to accommodate the stuff. I didn't see it. So did anyone of you
that's a
guys see that?
very good question. I don't know, but I could
Well,
possibly see that being the reason behind it.
well, that's the thing though. All these state programs are federally funded. So if he takes away the federal funds, where does the funds gonna come from?
And that's the
The
thing,
states.
and that's why I push back at. Like I don't agree with him doing that because I really heard about it. I'm like, oh man, no, because it affects people around me too, right? But then I started thinking also it makes people like Brandon Johnson use the money they have from our taxes, use their money wisely. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if there's a lot of misuse in funds per state, and that's why they want to like implement this. So it's so many like blank areas I don't know. I can't piece it together yet.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up. Unbeknownst to me, I wouldn't have thought of that. But again, I like us have indulging in these conversations because we bring about different points of views. Hey, so did y'all hear the rumors going around?
You go.
Just a
There you
rumor.
go.
I didn't start it. I didn't start it, but I'm gonna share it. The alleged affair between Barack Obama and Jennifer Aniston. Who was Jennifer Aniston, you ask? Uh, she was the pretty one on Friends, if you ask me. But yeah, that's based on opinion. But yeah, she was one of the cast members of the show, TV show Friends. And yeah, there's rumors. And I don't even know why I'm bringing this up because I haven't heard much about it. I heard it one off, and I ain't going to say who I heard it from.
I think this 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 whole rumor started from a Time magazine article, basically, and then they got I say fuel to the fire when Michelle Obama wasn't showing up for certain events. I think the Republican Party, or certain people in the Republican Party, or some people would say right wing, even though I don't believe in that right wing and left wing, but they would say they're just trying to do defamation of character on Obama. That's what I feel, because I'm gonna be real, and I'm gonna give a hood response, or the neighborhood response. You know damn well Obama can find somebody better looking than Jennifer Aniston. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
See,
I'm
when you
sorry.
said that,
I'm
I felt
sorry.
I felt I felt like I was in a
I'm
beauty
sorry.
shop. I felt like I was in
I'm
the
sorry.
beauty shop sitting there waiting, killing time. And they got the dries on, and you got that loud one. He could have found something way better than that girl.
I'm just
Now,
I'm just
if you'd
being
have said
real.
Gabrielle
I'm just
Union,
being
then I'd
real.
have been like,
I'm just being real. I'm just being real. Because
So yeah,
no offense to Jennifer Aniston. She's attractive in some circles, but I'ma just
leave it at that.
come on now. Yeah, I'ma just let me stop. But come on, come on. Like, I'm just for real.
So, gentlemen, I'm kind of going out of order here as I go. I'm kind of rearranging things. I want to switch it over into the world of sports. As I sit here with my Heat hat on, drinking out of my Heat glass, you know, I want to say goodbye to Jimmy Butler's punk ass. They still haven't decided where he's going. I've heard Lakers, I've heard Golden State. He said anybody but the Grizzlies. I say if he's really serious about the not going want to go to the Grizzlies, then guess what? Send him to Memphis. If not, send him to Detroit. Only because it's cold there and it's not really nothing much going on there. A
Hey,
lot of players.
If he go to Memphis, that's good for him. That's a good team over there, bro. That's a nice little team to go to Memphis.
That's
So
why I say send him to Detroit.
If he go to
Bury him.
Detroit,
Bury him.
if he go to Detroit, I say in 2 years, Detroit will be in the playoffs.
That's if he
In two
resigns with him.
years.
That's if he
Yeah,
resigns
true.
with him.
yeah.
But they got two 25-point game score and another 20-point game score. It's over there killing. So I'm just saying they could have a squad if he come.
So he was recently suspended indefinitely for missing a team plane. They literally waited on the tarmac for 2 hours for him, and he was a no-show. It's to the point
Disrespectful.
where, yeah, and he know what he's doing. He knows
Yeah.
exactly what he's doing. They should have took off without him. I'd have gave him 30 minutes and took off. It's to the point where the teammates, he's not even. They try to avoid that in all the press conferences now. They don't even want to talk about it no more. It's a distraction to the team, but that just solidifies more that he needs to go. They have a guy on there, Khalil. Khalil, I can't think of his last name. He went undrafted. Uh, and if you've been watching him or just checking out highlights, he's like one of those gems in the rough that the Heat seem to be lucky enough to find. So we'll be all right without him. Tyler Hero stepping up. They got Bam there. I'm sure another acquisition would help. Bring them back to that prominence of being a contender. Right now they're not, but they just got to get through this rough patch and move on. And I trust the Don. I kiss the ring. I know Pat Riley has a plan and never question the Don.
I just think they're playing the game like he's playing it too. Just like I can do this, whatever I want to do. No, you're gonna do what we tell you to do, and they're going back and forth with that. And I'm like, just trade the man already. Don't drag it
I
out
think
because it's more. It's to me, it's becoming more of a distraction because you got players already. When the question brings up, they're like, man, I don't even want to talk about that. Don't even ask me on that. Like you got players, Robinson, Tyler Hero, brushing it off. Like like don't drag this out longer than it needs to. Get rid of the problem because your team needs to focus.
right.
So
And so that's you hit the nail right on the head. He's the problem. He's the problem in Minnesota. He had issues in Philly, Chicago, and now here. That would make me think I wouldn't be in such a rush to pick him up because he can come in with the best intentions, but he'll switch up on you like night and day and resort to this type of behavior in his new surroundings. He's definitely the problem. I just ignore him and just let him be. Let him go play. Let him go play overseas with Dwight Howard. I don't care.
So
I
what?
appreciate
So
you.
so isn't he what, 35, 36 now?
36, yeah.
36, yeah.
Looking for a max contract with that attitude. I think he's like lowering his stock value. I think he needs to pump brakes. You know what I'm saying? Go to the drawing board and come back. You know what I mean? Because it's not looking good for him.
Age and attitude. Yeah.
Mhm.
if he wants an example of how not to act, look at Antonio Brown. Ultra talented, and walked off the field, and ain't gonna see him since it in the NFL. The leagues will move on without you, no matter how talented you are. So he needs to understand that you gonna walk yourself out of millions of dollars.
So trying to crawl out of the pool of irrelevancy, the NBA has added a new statistic. One player blocked the father and son duo in the same game, so that's not like in the record books now.
Oh man,
They're
here
just
you
they're
go.
just
Here
they're
you
just
go.
scratching for stats.
Here you go.
No, because he blocked LeBron and he blocked Bronny Jr. and now
The same game?
it's a stat. Same game. And now it's a stat. It's just the NBA is just crawling for relevancy right now. That they're turning into a Tubi movie.
Well, I just don't think, for instance, I'm surprised we haven't brought this up already. The All-Star weekend, it's expected to have very low ratings. They even removed put the dunk contest first now. It's the first event now, when it used to be the last.
Dunk
Before,
contest has been so boring to me in the
yeah,
last 5 or 6 years. So I don't care. I'm going to tune into the All Star game because of the different format and celebrity game. You got some pretty good ballers on in those games, so that's worth checking out too.
yeah, I see though, but I think that's what they're preparing for. They're trying to hype that up because it's expected to have low numbers,
Hmm.
which is crazy to me because I remember All Star Week used to be the thing with Vince Carter, T Mac, Kobe, KG, all them boys. Man, it used to be the thing. AI, man, it's like it's then dwindled down.
There used to be parties just to watch the All Star game, and then slowly, and it caught me by surprise. I was so unaware of it. I just knew that it was going to be high scoring games. No defense. All show, which is kind of like the way they're playing right now. They're like taking these insane amount of 3 pointers, even when you're not a 3 point shooter. It's getting out of hand. I'll tune in, and, like I said, just because of the different format, just to see how it plays out.
I don't think it's gonna play out well. I mean, I'm not even excited for it because you don't have any stars playing in the dunk contest. You don't have any real stars other than Steph Curry in the 3 point shootout. Like, and then with the All Stars, the only one I'm really excited to see because he's a fresh face is SGA. That's the he the only one, and he's the front runner right now for the MVP too. But he's the only one I'm really excited to see because he's a fresh face and he's showing tremendous skill. So that's the only one I'm really excited to see.
You know what? I would love to see a different format. I would love to see King of the Court, a 1v1 style, maybe like 30-minute session of King of the Court, right? And then give him make it like a prize, a cash prize, to win it all. But I love to see that though. I'll tune in for a 1v1 King of the Court type. I love that.
So who would play in that? Who would
Um,
play in that though?
Or everybody, LeBron, Steph,
everybody,
KD,
yeah.
You're
Bronny
not
James,
without a list of people to play one-on-one games. Wow, in 3 minutes, your mindset is like, man, my defense has got to be crazy. My offense got to be even crazier. I got 3 minutes.
But think about this. It's gonna be overmatched if you got Giannis going against Steph.
Well, I say it's you evenly match it up. I guess when it comes down to
by positions.
Right, and by the time the last round comes, you might have a shooting guard or a power forward, or or a point guard versus a center. Be that as it may, it's the best of the best.
That's the best. And do NBA style. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro, I like that.
And
I
I'm
like
thinking a
that.
matchup against like a point guard and a center still wouldn't be without a great matchup.
Yeah.
You got the quickness of the point guard. I mean, you got the size of the center, and all it will come down to is nailing your shots, and
Yep.
you can put some defense on a big guy and not draw a foul. So yeah,
Mm.
I think it would turn out well. It'd be like a Muggsy Bowles versus Manute Bol type deal, and you'd be
Oh,
like, oh, Manute
Bugs.
Bowles gonna win, but Muggsy Bowles ends up winning. I mean, just his drive to the court. The center's big and lanky. He's not as agile as a point guard would be. So it could be anybody's game. So switching in the world of sports, we'll talk about something that does have everybody's interest, and that's the upcoming Super Bowl, where you had the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Kansas City Chiefs. This will be the Kansas City Chiefs going for basically a three-peat, am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is a rematch from the year before last as well. So this should be a good game. Philly, by the way, mopped the fuck out of the Commanders. That that was an ass whooping. They should have slaughter rules. What was it, 55-20, something like that in that area?
55-23.
Yeah.
55-23. But to be fair to the Commanders, though, it is their first time. They're a very young team, so I
Well,
think they'll be around for a long time.
no, that
I
doesn't
think they will.
justify the ass whooping they got. Their skill is what got them to the playoffs. That ass
I don't
whooping
think
was
they're
just
not
an
a.
ass there. It was just that.
I don't think. I don't think
No,
they were ready for that moment. I think Philly, their experience. Philly's been in the playoffs for quite some time, so experience does play into that. You know, I don't think they were ready for that.
well, at least.
Yo, that's his boy over there,
Yeah, but you,
Jaden
you didn't you
Daniels.
didn't say you didn't say he's a rookie quarterback. You didn't say anything about rookie quarterback, bro. He made it to the top four. You know what I'm saying? You got to
He
give
ain't no
him
rookie.
some stop.
He ain't no rookie. He ain't no rookie no more. That's over with. He ain't no rookie.
What?
Rookie is over with.
Nah,
You 19 games in. You ain't no rookie no more.
that's a rookie year, bro.
Uh, nah, he ain't no rookie no more.
So
So who
yeah,
you who you got? Who you got for the Super Bowl? Like who's taking the whole? Who's taking it off? Who's winning
My head say Kansas City Chief, but my heart say Philly. Cause I want Philly to mollywop their ass. I really can't stand the Chiefs, and it's not because they're winning. It's just how these games are being officiated, which is not their fault. Which is not their fault. So let me say that it ain't their fault, but too much. It's like every game you touch Patrick Mahomes, flag. He plays to the refs, and then they get away with cheat. There's a when they played the Bills, you see Josh Allen pointing to the ref, telling them, "Look, they're holding. Look, like, look." He's pointing to it, telling them. And then after the game, you see Patrick Mahomes go up to, or you hear through Patrick Mahomes telling them, "Yeah, they should have called that." Yeah, they should have called. And I'm like, come on, man. It's just too much of that, and I think that taints the run to me. I don't like that. I didn't like it when the Patriots was doing. To me, I just think it should be because you work hard. All these NFL players work hard to get to the moment. Don't cheat it with the bullshit. Like that's just my opinion.
so
I know I went on a little run.
four things for certain. It's going to be a great game. We got a great game. We got the halftime show.
it?
We got the commercials. The commercials are great too. You're gonna see a lot of movie previews. I'm a big fan of that. So I always record the Super Bowl so I can go back and watch it. Now I guess I could just go on YouTube and watch them over again. And the last thing for certain, the winning quarterback is at least 50% black.
Man, you could have just said black, man. You could have just said black. But
No,
I'm a I'm a
he's only
just
he's only 50% black. You know who I'm talking about. So I'm trying to be inclusive. I'm trying to include both of them. And that prediction right there is right. He's the winning quarterback is going to at least be 50% black.
who y'all got? Who y'all got for the Super Bowl?
I want Kansas City to win just because I want Pat Riley to profit off of the three-peat slogan. I know he's rooting for Kansas City as well, but I'm sure Philly's going to give him a great game. But Patrick Mahomes is good, and it was a certain point we were counting them out in this season, like, oh no, they ain't going back, or they ain't as good as they were. Where here they are, they at the big dance again. So just for the sake of saying, who can say has there ever been a three-peat? Do I have to pay Pat Riley every time I say that?
Never.
In the NFL, the Super Bowl. So
No,
that'd be great. That'd be
no.
a great feat. That'd be bragging rights.
You keep saying Pat Riley three-peat. Like, does
Pat
he own that
Riley,
slogan?
Pat Riley trademarked the term three-peat.
Hmm.
When the Bulls won, they started yelling. He said something about three. He ended up trademarking that phrase.
When
I
the Bulls
forgot
won.
when the Bulls won the second time. There was a number that was thrown out. It was in the hundreds of thousands of dollars at which Pat Riley profited from. So yeah, he coined the phrase
Damn.
Yeah.
three-peat.
He didn't even win it, and he trademarked it.
Yeah. Well,
That's nice.
you can do that. You can
Yeah.
patent an idea and don't even have the tools to do it. You could be like, I wish people could read my thoughts and patent that, but somebody else actually puts in the work, and here you are holding the patent. Fun fact.
Didn't know. I did not know.
Yes. So moving on, yeah, but don't you agree that's going to be a good game? I know a lot of people at work have already put in for vacation day for that following Monday, so they really plan on getting it in. Here's another fun fact. Do you know what the biggest selling vegetable is during the Super Bowl? If it's considered a vegetable, it might be a fruit.
Tomato?
Avocado
Oh,
Oh,
dip.
that's
The
that's
dip.
for the guacamole, yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes
Oh,
sense.
oh. Oh,
I am
Jeremy,
full
we
of
didn't
fun
get
facts today.
So who?
Jeremy, we didn't get your pick. Who's your pick?
Prediction? I can't go against Mahomes. Like he, for some reason, he been winning for like what, three times the last 5 years. So I can't go against him. Also, I love Andy Reid. Like, and it's crazy because he actually coached the Eagles years back and won the championship, I think, with them. So either way, like he's a winning coach. But I'm rooting for Eagles though. I don't want Patrick them to win, but I really, if I'm a betting man, I'm betting with Kansas City. I can't go against it.
Well, the Chiefs got a contract they just signed. It was 4 years, $240 million to all NFL refs. So
Uh,
so it's a strong possibility it might come into
yeah, I'm telling
fruition.
you, like the Patriots, bro. You can't bet against it, man.
The Patriots?
Uh,
Yeah,
it's like the Patriots, like the
Oh,
Patriots.
back in the day, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I think
They
uh
they had a nice run.
I think it's time to discuss a little bit of personal for us, our humble beginnings.
Yeah, so we came up with this topic after our wrap-up show last week. Or was it the meeting, annual
The
meeting?
meeting, the
It was the
meeting, yeah.
Yeah,
meeting,
meeting.
okay. So we was just bouncing around ideas. Yeah, because I had an "I love you, man" moment with these guys, and then that idea just kind of popped in my head. You know, here we are, three black men, and we're in the professional world. We're considered essential to a certain extent, and it's something to celebrate and astonish. But it just didn't happen overnight, and we didn't just wake up, with these positions. First of all, we went to school, we got the training, but with that, you know, it was our first jobs. The first jobs is not a real good beacon of what your future is going to look like. You're just trying to get your foot in the door, and sometimes it might not be the first, but we also have those worst jobs, the jobs that we hated, but we did it anyway just to make ends meet. So I want to go around the table. First, let's talk about our first jobs, and not. I guess we could talk about both in our profession and just first jobs in general.
Okay, well, for me, I mean, I wouldn't even consider this a first job, but for me, it was after school matters, and I would say was my first job where I received a check, where I received a check.
I didn't hear it. Say it again. It was what?
After school matters.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah, that was my first real experience with being, receiving a check for doing something, right? And then from there, my real first job was helping. Um, my best friend at the time was doing movement companies. We were what you would consider illegal workers because we were underage. but we were underage. But hey, we had to get to that money. So that was definitely backbreaking and humble beginnings for me because man, I had to get to that money because y'all know my personal story, but growing up in the household that I grew up in, you had to grow up fast. So that's the thing. And then from there, I definitely went into a fast food restaurant, Sonic, you know, which has great ice, but the food salty as hell. But I love Sonic. I love Sonic. No hate, but definitely learned a lot at that job as well as how to work with people, deal with people, customer service. I actually had to tell a funny story, and I ended with this funny story. My first time in a Sonic drive-through, there was a girl who on the little headset was asking me my name, and I told her my name, and I told her my name was Brandon. And when I handed her food, she gonna drive off in the thing saying Brandon, like doing all that. And I'm like, the hell going on here? And then my manager coming and said something to me like no ex girlfriends in this line here, and I'm like, that's not my girlfriend.
Right. And how can you control who comes through the line anyway?
You can't control
But yeah, I know I went on a little spiel with like 3 or 4 jobs, but that was my
No,
real
you
humble
good.
beginnings.
Yeah.
What
So
about
so
you,
are we doing
Jay?
humble beginnings? Are we doing humble beginnings and then jobs? Or just anyway. So
Yeah.
um as you so I come also from humble beginnings, man. I mean like far as like group homes. I was in group homes for a couple of years. Bounced back and forth, from different cities, different relatives' homes. I was a kid that like didn't have anything new. Everything was hand me down shoes, hand me down socks, drawers, t-shirts, everything hand me down, right? We're talking about I used to fold my socks. I used to fold my socks and make your ankles out so you can't see them because it was dirty. You know what I'm saying? So have you guys ever recall like after how you in school younger, after winter break, after you say Christmas break, you'll go to school and the teacher like, hey, what you get for Christmas? Right? I was a guy who used to just lie. Yeah, I got this at the crib. I got the game at the crib. I got an arcade game. I got a basketball court in the crib. Makeup, everything, bro. You know what I'm saying? I used to lie by myself. And then you have them smart
Facts.
kids. Then you have them smart kids be like, well, why your shoes dirty then? You should ask for shoes, right? You should have got some shoes, some clothes, though. But so so that's why I think my first job was at six, like legal job was at 16, and I worked at like a Mexican restaurant. Like making tacos and burgers. Right, I did that for like maybe a year or two. Right, I was doing that at school and in sports. Right, 'cause I wanted to not be bummy anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I started working like 4 hours every day after school. So after that, I worked at like this pallet company, and that was crazy because like basically you carry big like tree stumps, and you have to push them on a conveyor, right? So it's very taxing to your back. It's very hard to do. At this time it wasn't anything automated, so you have to literally like carry everything everywhere, and that's so after they cut it, I have to stack it. You know what I'm saying? So I did that for 2 years. And then my next job after that was working in like a pig, not pig farm, but a pig factory. They basically a sausage factory. So so yeah, it's like so. But the thing is, every time I changed jobs, in some way, I grew a little bit. I grew a little bit, but uh, those are my like coming jobs. Before I start to go into my major.
So I kind of want to piggyback on your story, Jeremy.
Yeah,
I think you mentioned some of that stuff, but to hear all that stuff now, the group home, the socks,
yeah,
lying about Christmas, uh,
yeah.
definitely humble beginnings. Uh, you sweating in a restaurant, and then carrying big ass logs. Yeah,
Yeah,
you've
right.
definitely come a long way, and
Yeah,
just look at you, to where you are now. So my congratulations to you. I
I
want to kind of
appreciate it.
piggyback on the Christmas thing. I don't know what a bad Christmas was, and I don't say that to brag, but my mother would always max out the credit cards for me and my sister around Christmas time, which was only designed for, emergencies. But my mother didn't want us to know what a bad Christmas was based on her upbringing and what a Christmas was. Whereas for Christmas, a present for them was like fruit. They grew up in the South in the 40s or whatever. That was a Christmas present for them. So growing up, there was always a lot of presents under the tree for me and my sister. And until I started to realize, because I would see my parents argue, it was because of the credit card thing, but she wanted us to enjoy Christmas, have a good time, and not be, don't take this the wrong way, like Jeremy. Because when I went back to school, I wasn't the initiator of what you got for Christmas, but I noticed that it was always the same people that was in the conversation and that wasn't in the conversation. And it wasn't until maybe a few years ago I reconnected with a friend, and she was talking about how it was just a house full of kids, and it was struggle, so they didn't get nothing. So you saying making up, hey, I got this, I got that. Yeah, there was a lot of that going on. At times it just don't change, but I'm appreciative for the Christmases I have, and when I got older, when I got the opportunity to pay back, I did, and that would be in. I remember being home one day watching the news, and this lady was on there, saying how her kids, they're real obedient. It was a boy in particular. He was real obedient, got good grades, never had a problem out of him, but she couldn't afford to get him nothing for Christmas. And I was receptive enough to get all the information of the school that the kid went to. First thing I did is I called my sister up. I said, gather up all my nephew's old toys. We're gonna give them away. We're not throwing them away. And I called the school. I kind of put everything together, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to participate in helping wrapping the presents, but my sister was, and she was telling me how grateful the mother was that we was doing such a thing. So I think I did it for like 3 years straight, and I don't know why I strayed away from it, but yeah, I was appreciative of what I got, and again, cognizant of people that were struggling because outside of that, we were struggling day to day. Sometimes, you know, the meal choices for dinner were very limited. And if I didn't like it, I had a choice: either I eat it or I go to bed hungry. Sometimes I go to bed hungry because I ain't eating no liver. I ain't eating no pork chops. But yeah, so enough about that. But
Wait, I wanna piggyback off you now because I thought about something. Um, I remember it was so bad for me in a way. I can laugh now, but I had a nickname to like a lot of my even like the my friends' parents. They well everybody called me like it's crazy, bro. They called me the human garbage can, bro. Because wait, it wasn't how I was dressing. It's because like they were saying like I would consume anything. So if I go to their crib, I won't ask for it, but they have leftovers, and I'd be like, she asked me like, oh yeah, for sure, I eat that. You know what I'm saying? I was eating stuff that their kids didn't want to eat. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
So I was like, you know what I'm saying, a human garbage can as far as like, I consume anything. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't have it, bro. So when meals come hot, you
Yeah,
know what
you
I'm
don't.
saying?
Yeah,
So
you're not
and it's
asking
to the
for a
point,
menu.
yeah, and it's to a point now. I think it's still like lasts with me because like um to this day, man, I really haven't had like food that I'm like, oh, this is nasty. I never had that, bro. Like, even now, like I don't know if it's my psyche or what. I never have like, dang, this nasty. I never
I
had that.
can
So
I can relate. I can relate to you when you talk about all the hand me down stuff. Cause I was one of them kids that I would try to make my shoes last 7 years. I remember I had these pro ring Payless, and not to turn this into different type of story, but with after I say this, I'll let you go, Roy. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
You're gonna pay
I
for it.
had this I had this Payless shoes. They were pro wings, and them boys was doing this.
Talking.
Them boys were doing this, like literally. So I put a bobby pin and I broke the ends off and I twisted it to put them motherfuckers together. You know? And
Hmm.
yeah, I would do that. That's where the
yeah,
young
bro.
engineer stuff coming
Yeah,
back.
bro.
But
Brandon, I used to like get a black Sharpie and white out, you know what I'm saying? Make my shoes brand new again, bro. You know what I'm saying? Clean them
so
up, get some white out. Some
Look,
yeah.
we relating that struggle. We relating that struggle.
Brandon will wear shoes for 7 years, but he can't keep a car now for 3 months. He got to trade it in.
Hey, we gotta evolve. We
Look,
gotta evolve.
Mr. Snooty and Bougie.
Yeah.
Told you was gonna pay for it. My first job. Wow, my first job. I was actually a business owner. I had a lemonade stand. I was a black kid with a lemonade stand. And what I remember from that, obviously everything was profit because I used their water, their ice, their sugar, their packets, and their cups. So everything was profit. And I remember one day, I gathered so much. I sell it 50 cent, whatever. I gathered enough that my mother took me to the toy store, and for then toys. So I bought one of the GI Joe dolls that's about yay high. So it comes in the plastic wrapper and everything. So being that I bought it, I didn't yank the paper. I pulled it back just nice so that I could pull it out. And then after I was through playing with it, I could put it right back in. So the moral of the story is you treat things different when you got to pay for it.
Hey, I just got one question for you, Roy. That lemonade stand went on Martin Luther King Drive was.
No, no, because I wouldn't have had no profits. Number one, I wouldn't have been able to sell it because they'd have just took the lemonade and then they'd have made me pay them for drinking it. No, so the lemonade stand was on Bishop. It was in front of my dad's house on the porch. That's where I set up shop at. But yeah, that was my first job. But my real first job, paying, W-2 or whatever, there was a summer program. The Social Security building downtown, they would hire high school kids during the summer. So I went through the program and everything. I got the job, and I think I borrowed money, for the first couple of weeks from my parents just to get back and forth. But then when I got my paycheck, man, you talk about a fool and his money will part. I wasn't taking no lunch. I was going over to the Union Station to buy lunch. And then the sole purpose of me working was to buy school clothes the first year. And when it came down to buy stuff, because I just spending like I didn't have the only thing I could afford was some guest overalls and a mock green turtleneck. That's all I had. I'm like, that's all I had to show for it was one outfit. When I was spending all my money on food and stuff. But coming from the surroundings that we came from, like shit, Taco Bell today, Taco Bell, McDonald's. So yeah.
So Eric, that was like you said in high school.
Yeah, I was in high school as a sophomore when that was my first
Yeah.
job.
So Brandon, so Eric over there buying gas in high school, bro. He doing it big. You asked me. You asked me, bro.
Hey,
He up there.
I
But
ain't want.
look, that was the only name brand outfit I had.
He up
Everything
there.
else
He
was
doing it
so
big, bro.
y'all not even hip to it. It's called, you heard of Tough Skins and Lee denim jeans. Yeah, that was the
I
only
heard of
name
Lee.
brand outfit I had was that Guess overalls. And I wore the
Hey,
shit out of
you
that.
ain't from the.
I think I wore it once like every week.
You ain't from the hood if you ain't got one outfit you iron freshly, and wear that boy at least 2-3 times a week, a month, something like that. Boy, like it don't matter.
So my first fast food job was Taco Bell. Actually, the same Taco Bell is still standing up, Brandon. It's on 95th and Ashland. If you're going towards Western, that Taco Bell right there, the one that's across the street from the Burger King or McDonald's or whatever. I used to work at that Taco Bell. Um,
And that's one of the worst ones. No, I'm just saying, one
busy
of
as
the worst
fuck.
ones.
Busy as fuck. Man, worst job. I don't know. Have to think about that one.
I can
But
go first if you want.
go ahead.
All right, my worst job, and I won't name the company, but I was working for uh I was a manufacturing engineer, working for a turbine engine company. So they
Oh,
made for the turbine engine blades. It's horrible company. I'm gonna say that for just say I'm not gonna say their name, but
General
horrible company.
Dynamics,
Nah,
General
I'm not gonna
Electric.
say their name.
Okay.
Don't
Not
tell
gonna
him,
say their
Brandon.
name, but it's a horrible company. Very not a CEO, very respectable man. Nice, get a shirt off your back. But the company itself, yeah, you won't learn nothing there. You're gonna learn your patience there. Because you're more likely, instead of getting the job done there, you're more likely to end up punching somebody in the face.
Well, you
People
know
will
what?
do.
The CEO is a representation of the company. He had to be aware of the atmosphere there. So he might have
I
been
don't
nice
think it.
smiling in your face, but he was saying this. You walking out, you're like, hey, that's a nice Ferrari right there, sir. And he was like, yeah. And if you work twice as hard, this time next year, I'll be able to get a new one.
Well, it kind of felt like that because I literally, this was like the president of the company would come down on the floor and ask people one question: Who want to get fired today? That was the type of environment that was, and people would do stuff in there to get the other person fired. Like they would purposely try to make it look like this person did this person did that to get the other person fired. A very toxic environment. And that was my first job coming out of college. So imagine my experience and my fear going to any other job. That was, and when I had interviews after that, that would be my question: What's your work environment? How do you treat your employees? Because people there at this company show me a whole different light. Some of the nastiest stuff I've seen people do to people at work, a work environment, was done at this place. And it's funny how life turned around because at my current job, we had a engineer come out, and he used to work for that very same company. he was he was telling me the stuff they did to him and how they tried to basically ruin his entire career. And I'm like, yeah. And that surprisingly, that place is still in business. Shockingly.
Yeah, their stock went up too.
Yeah. Yeah. But that was
I
definitely the
saw it on
worst
the
job
dock.
I ever been at. That's definitely the worst job I've been at. I mean, they would try to, and when you're dealing with turbine engine, anything that's involved in a plane, you become liable for anything that fails. Like, if I don't know if people know that, but when you work with these big companies like that, you
Hmm.
become liable, especially as an engineer or a person who designs this stuff. You become liable. So that's
So
Well,
it's
you
is
know,
that
stressful on
they
the body.
have ways of like tracing things. Let's just say, let's take for
Mm.
example an engine. They know who worked on that assembly for that engine. They can trace it back to everybody. So when something happens, then all of a sudden, they're looking at you kind of strange. They're pulling you into a room, like, they're showing you pictures and everything of bodies laying all over the place. Reason I'm showing you this is because the engine that you helped manufacture was the cause of the accident. Yeah, so there's kind of traceability in that.
and when
Just
you
like
say
any
liable, are you talking about civil or criminal? Both or
It could be
both?
both. It could be
Dang,
both. It could be both.
that's tough.
Somebody gotta have skin in the game. That's the thing. And some people were so when they knew they messed up, they would throw. We had a
For
little
sure.
lake or whatever, or a little river. They would throw it in there to hide it, because this stuff is it's that serious. That serious. Because you put bad parts in a plane, what happens? Yeah, yeah, it's that serious.
So we're gonna move on. Another thing that we were kind of talking about was social media challenges that we either hated, we enjoyed, or was real fucking stupid. Now I brought this up, so I dug into this extra deep. This is my baby, but I don't know if you guys got any challenges that were out there that you want to talk about.
Yeah.
The ones that I enjoyed were like the ice bucket challenge, or what's the one? I kind of enjoyed the listen and don't judge until it got to be like really disrespectful. Like one dude, and I think it's a viral video too. He told his girlfriend or wife, I'm not sure what she was, to him that when you think I'm coming in you, I'm really pissing in you. And I'm like, dude, what? What?
Listen, don't
Where
judge,
they
no.
make these men at? Yeah, but where they make these men at? Because, bro, come on. Those are the ones that I really enjoyed. But the ones I hated was that like cinnamon challenge. They had the lick the toilet seat COVID challenge, and they
Okay.
had the tripod challenge. I'm like, come on, man, y'all just want to die. Just go and do that off camera. So ain't nobody trying to do that.
What's the tripod challenge?
Where they would break it, or they would try to like
Oh,
sniff it, or they would
the
try
Tide
to.
Pods, the Tide Pods.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Tide Pods. Yeah,
I thought you said
Tide Pods. I'm
tripod
sorry.
like three.
He did say triple.
Yeah, I did say tripod.
No worries,
I
no
did.
worries. I wasn't trying to.
Tide Pod.
So Errol, I go because I know you have a long list. Yeah. I only remember two that I didn't really like. One was you guys remember that crate challenge? I think around COVID is when it came out.
Hmm.
It was funny, but it's something that I would never do, right? But people were actually dying because of that, breaking their neck. And then another stupid one
Man,
was you guys seen the Coke and Mentos challenge?
Yeah.
That was another one. Like I
I
kind of
don't,
thought that
I
was
don't,
kind of
I don't think I've seen that one.
questionable too, because basically, like if you put Coke on top of Mentos, like and
Or
close the
Mentos
bottle,
in the
it
bottle.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It like it explodes. So when they do it, they put their mouth over the bottle and they basically explode their mouth. And like it's kind of low key, kind of like suspect, right?
Suspect, yeah.
I'm like, what?
Hey, I was just about to
Take
say
that
pause.
take
Pause.
take the load challenge.
Yeah, yeah. So that's all I got. Go
I
ahead,
was just
Roy.
about to
So
say.
everyone you guys mentioned I had on my list, but there's a few others. And they're gonna get stupid as they progress. One was called the devious lick. It was a popular trend where teenagers would steal objects from school, like soap, some little sanitizer containers, toilet paper, erasers. Real fucking stupid. So here's one I didn't hear of, but I was like, I never heard of this. It's called the Banana Sprite Challenge. You guys ever heard of that?
No.
The
Nah, what is
challenge
that?
the challenge is to quickly eat two bananas and drink one can of Sprite without vomiting.
I wouldn't even think to mix the two.
Some
I
somebody
would,
somebody thought of it. Somebody that tried to eat two bananas and a Sprite real quick because he was rushing to class.
probably it's probably that same person who did the Mentos challenge talking about take the low. Take the low. Take the low.
That one chip challenge. When you had like the one chip,
Oh yeah.
like a Carolina Reaper. I mean, you seen people's reaction. Especially if they're going up against somebody, they trying to keep a straight face, and I mean the sweat is just pouring, and they just fiending for stupidly water. When actually, if you're drinking something spicy or eating something spicy, the best thing to counteract that is dairy. So uh, I used to stay up north, and my landlord was a Hispanic family. So I went down there one day, paid the rent. The landlord, the father figure, the man in the house, was sitting there. He had his plate, and he had a little dish of ice cream on the side. I'm like, okay, he likes his dessert with his meal. And then I come down again, same thing. So the third time I said, what's with the ice cream and with your dinner? He was like, he looks around everybody. Everybody knows he's like, sit down. So his wife makes me a little small plate or whatever. And then she puts the ice cream. She makes a scoop of ice cream, but she doesn't put it close to me. She puts it to where it's out of reach. So I'm like, okay. I eat it and it's fucking hot. I mean, my mouth is on fire. And I drinking water, that's not helping. Then she pushes the ice cream towards me, and I like just take a big mouthful like that, and instantly the dairy counteracts spicy foods. So yeah, we talked
Man,
about the coronavirus challenge where you lick something like a toilet bowl. Fucking stupid. Do you guys remember the mannequin challenge?
oh, that was actually fun too.
Yeah, yeah,
That was fun too.
that was a good one.
Okay, it's basically somebody's taking a video, they go through a crowd, and you
Yeah,
you just freeze, and then when they double back, you're in a different pose or something.
yeah. What else?
Another one I got, the condom challenge.
What's
Oh,
that?
Uh,
gee.
I don't
the
remember that one.
challenge
What was?
the challenge involves inserting a latex condom into the nostril and snorting it into the nasal cavity and back through the throat to be coughed up out the mouth.
Nah, never. Really?
Yeah, that's a real
Yeah,
thing.
people were really actually trying this.
So there's one,
Man,
there's the No Nut November.
yeah, that's yeah.
In
Who made
other
that
term,
challenge?
in
What
other
kind,
terms,
what
other
kind of
terms, it's
challenge is
called.
that?
In other words, it's called being married when she cut you off. So there was this one I had listed. Oh, it's called the Blackout Challenge. So it's
Oh yeah.
basically like tying a belt,
Yeah.
cord, or whatever on your neck,
Yeah.
and pulling it out until to the point where you black out. Now we did something in the '90s. It was called the helicopter. It's where you would stoop down. You stoop down and you take like 4 or 5 deep breaths, and then you'd stand up and you're probably up against a brick wall or a fence or something, and somebody would push on your chest, and
Yeah. The pass
you,
out.
yeah, and you would pass out. We called it the helicopter. Yeah, just dumb shit we used to do, and that continues on through the generations. So I guess stupidity is a trend. So what do we have next? So I
Well, we
would
got the
say I would say do you gentlemen have fun facts?
mine. I got I got one that's kind of crazy. It's about Thursdays. Fun facts about Thursdays. It's kind of interesting.
Go
And
ahead.
I guess I'll start it off.
Hmm.
On Thursdays, Thursday is named after, the Greek god of thunder, or Norse god of thunder, I'm sorry, Thor. I bet y'all didn't know that. The first Thanksgiving was on a Thursday. The first public telephone call was on a Thursday, January 9th, 1878. Sorry, Thomas Edison. The end of World War One and World War twisted. World War Two. Y'all on a Thursday. On a
Yeah.
Thursday.
Blah 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 blah
Tongue
blah
twisted.
blah. You sound like that song
Yeah, tongue twisted.
Supersonic. Yeah, that's it.
November 11th, 1918, and September 2nd, 1945. The launch of the first iPhone happened on a Thursday, June 29th, 2007. And then the Wright brothers' first flight or first airplane that actually took off for 12 seconds happened on a Thursday. And that's my fun facts for Thursday.
And No Nut November actually started on November 1st, which was actually a Thursday.
He lied. He lied.
Hey, so
But
now
so,
we come to some new segments that we came up with. One that's been kind of traveling around in my head for like over a year, and I decided to implement it. It's called the Gentleman's Club, and it's basically for men, and women can listen too to help educate their man and watch them grow as well. So the gentlemen, it's how we groom ourselves, how we carry ourselves, how we apply things, how we how to do things that make us gentlemen. And so for the first one, and it's not going to be every week, it'll be periodically. I'm finna go dark for a second. There I go. I'm dark. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna watch a video in the background, and we don't have it where we could share videos just yet, but I'm gonna kind of narrate it.
everybody tongue twisted today.
And the first one is how to apply cologne. Now we were talking about this prior to the taping of this show, and we were kind of sharing how we do it, and everybody has their way, but uh doing my research, my source, I would consider a reliable source. This is how we should apply cologne. Now, some of these I'm going to jump in, and each point I'm gonna describe, and then we can comment on each point. So bear with me as I listen and I narrate. Less is more. Don't be the guy that they can smell a mile away because we doused ourselves with excessive amount of cologne. The fragrance goes a long way. The second one is how to apply cologne, and it's more likely when you put it on. So the source here says, and I actually do this, the best time to apply cologne is immediately after shower. You dry off, your pores are still open, and you apply your cologne. That way it kind of seeps out. Next point, how aware to apply cologne. And this one I was guilty of doing for a moment and I stopped. Some people say they spray it in the air and then they walk into it. Believe it or not, though, have you guys ever done that?
No, bro, never.
No, no.
Have you heard
I
of that
use
though?
I heard it. We heard of it though. Yeah.
So yeah, you spray it and then you walk into it. Majority of that shit's going on the ground. You're losing the majority of it.
That sounds like a cartoon though. How cartoons in the movie.
Right.
uh, should I say how I was taught to put on cologne, or you want to give what the video says?
So next is where on your body to spray the cologne.
Okay.
Now, some of us put it on our wrists, some spray it on top of our clothes. I think it should go on the body. Again, it exudes from the pores. Uh, I also I spray on my chest. I spray across my chest, on my neck, and on my near my jawline. Uh, when I go to hug a female, that's where they're gonna smell it, and that's what we wear it for, right? We want them to notice it. So I just that's where I kind of put the fragrance on. Uh, they do even mention putting it on your wrist. I don't see the benefit from it.
It's the same reason, Roy. It's the hug. Like when you hug a female, you know what I'm saying? She smell it on your wrist because you like, you know what I mean? The same reason.
The way I was taught, you want the pulse points. Basically, everywhere you can read a pulse, you want to spray cologne, a little dab, rub it, ears, neck, chest, and wrist. But that that don't apply to everybody, I guess. But that's just the way
Right.
I was taught.
So out of those areas that I mentioned where to apply, it's recommended that you only spray it on two of those areas.
Didn't
Oh.
know that.
And I say again, less is more. Just because you don't smell it, don't mean it's not there. And then if you do smell it and it's strong, guess what? It's on there. So hopefully you put it on there early enough that it can die off or whatever. So those pulse points, uh, you would hold the cologne bottle 3 to 6 inches away from that pulse point and spray.
Oh, so okay.
Hmm?
I be in that boy that and just I rub it and just go from
Hey,
there
hey,
like I
and
do
to
this.
each his own. These are
Mm.
just one gentleman's perspective. He called himself the style OG. So if you rub it in, to each his own. As long as nobody's saying, you know what, you should dial back on the cologne. It's too much. Then that's a good thing. So whatever. Actually, you know what? That's just the next point he just mentioned. He strongly suggests not rubbing it into the skin.
Well, hey, I'm doing it
And
wrong.
again,
I'm
T,
doing it
just
wrong.
no,
Doing it
do
wrong.
you? Again, I'm just sharing. There's probably somebody out there right now that this message is really reaching out to because they don't know. Maybe some younger gentleman, he's coming into the ways of the world of getting, noticed by the ladies, and he's been overdoing it with the Brute by Fabergé. So this is going to resonate with somebody. I'm not asking you to change up your style. I'm just sharing what he's sharing. Let me go ahead. Bear with me, gentlemen. So he said the reason he's against rubbing it, you're not getting the full using the full potential of the cologne itself. You're basically rubbing it out, I guess. So his last tip was, let's say you do it, early in the morning, 11 o'clock, and the cologne's not going to last all day. And in that case, don't reapply to all your points, but specifically apply it to the wrist. So yeah, there you go. That's our first introduction to the gentleman's corner. Uh, I definitely want to add more to that of some guys' gang. You know, let's get you out of those true religion jeans and into a nice little slacks and shirts. Let's get our grown man on, and that's what I'm trying to help you do. And that was gentlemen's corner or gentlemen's club. And so, last but not least, I I brought to the gentleman lately. It was suggested that I do daily affirmations. You know, going into the work environment, you kind of going into it, and it's like you're going in there and you know what obstacles are going to be there or what shitstorm you're walking into. So when you think of it like that, you're only giving strength to the worst possible situation. The daily affirmations are meant to encourage and empower you. And I would say, honestly, for the last a week and so that I've been doing it, I really immediately been feeling the benefits of it. So I try to have my moment, whether in the morning, during my shower or to drive in. Oh, speaking of which, I got something to tell you guys after this. But anywho, I try to encourage myself and look out for the possible point, the positivity in things. And I really can say my attitude and the way I approach things has really changed and it helps. So I started on my Facebook page. If you want to, you could follow me, Elroy Johnson. I'm the cool looking guy, like leaning back like this. I think I got a cigar in my hand with a little chain on. That's me. Send me a friend request. I'll add you on. I started doing daily affirmations on the page just to encourage everybody else. Um, I'm gonna share with you too one of them that really resonated with me that I've been holding on for years, and I just thought it was a great saying. And this actually comes from Bruce Lee. Don't talk bad about yourself because you're projecting bad energy in the world, and it's called spells. Think positive, and then you'll get positive results. So with the daily affirmations, I've been really feeling the difference. Uh, Dealing with issues more effectively and clear-headed than getting worked up. And so I want to share with you this week's actual daily affirmation, or I guess it'll be weekly if it's just on the podcast. We're always going to have obstacles in life. If we're trying to reach a certain level, there's going to be things in the way that hinder you. It's never going to be an easy ride. But if you luck up and get it, you really haven't gotten the full effects of what it is to obtain what you have or really treasure what you have. These obstacles are built to make you stronger. They're weights. When you lift weights, they make you stronger. These obstacles uh, give you a little dose of reality, and you take them and you learn from them. I look at obstacles as learning lessons. When people come to me, and I've been saying this for about 2 years, hey, we got a problem. I said, no, we just got obstacles we got to overcome. What is it? A problem, a problem just sounds too powerful. It just sounds like, you know, Thanos to me. But obstacles seem kind of takes away the power. Almost like, and here I am using, Marvel movie antics, or when Scarlet Witch was breaking him down, he was about to get his ass whooped for real. She broke him down from a problem to an obstacle. And obstacles can be conquered. And at the end of the day, once you conquer that obstacle, you should relish in that fact and feel accomplished. Whether you had help or not, you solved an issue. So the next time that issue comes around, that issue goes from being Thanos to being, I don't know, Groot or Rocket the Raccoon, so to say. It becomes so minor. So accept the obstacles as they come, because only then can you really appreciate greatness. And that has been my affirmation.
I wanted to just add, because when you brought up affirmations, there was two that I immediately thought of that I just wanted to add on to yours. One is there's
It's
no
either gonna
room
be the
that you.
streets or the sheets. Your choice. No, I'm sorry.
Well, one is there's no room that you don't belong in, and that's just basically saying that don't walk in a room feeling small and like you don't belong. You belong in that room. Wherever you at in life, whatever position you have, whatever job you have, whatever, if you're a mother of two or whatever, or you just graduating college, you belong in that room. So don't feel like you don't. There's no room in this world that you don't belong in. Do your thing out here. And the second one is basically for the future politicians and mayors and leaders out there that'll may one day see this. Is that I hope the future politicians or mayors, not like Brandon Johnson, not like Donald Trump, see this and they take these words and to heart, take them to heart. Is that none of us are free until all of us are free, and that's as plain as it can get. Love your fellow person, and care for the small, for the insignificant to you, care for the next man. And I think that's something that's been lost over time throughout. So those are my two to add on to that affirmation.
No, that's greatly appreciated. Jeremy, you want to throw something out there? You got anything? You're muted.
Yeah, you
My
muted,
bad.
bro.
My bad. I do have one. You are in control of your own happiness and well-being. I said this because a lot of people, even in couples, they rely on others to make them happy, right? That's backwards. Like you got to find your own happiness and then invite people into it. If not, you will never be happy. Can no one fulfill you like you can for yourself? So you have to find whatever that happiness may be. You have to be happy for yourself and well-being, and then invite others into it. That's a
That
fact.
is so dope. I say that from time to time because I can go to the movies by myself. I can go to a restaurant by myself. That's because I'm comfortable with me being me. If you can't be comfortable and you can't have fun by yourself, then nobody can make you complete or whole. You're probably just going to make them miserable or whatever. Uh, it starts from within.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow, I kind of like that. And, I'm glad you guys had something to add on to that. So
We weren't
I'm
just gonna leave you hanging. We're gonna leave you hanging like that.
so yeah, I'm gonna try to make this, a regular part of the show, leaving with an affirmation, an afterthought, and we can definitely make this is the perfect short right here. I don't know if you control the length of the shorts, but this whole thing about affirmations would be a great short that for us to put out. But with that said, you know what? We're kind of falling right in line with our time. I hope you guys had a great show. I know I did. I was really looking forward to this, the way we prepared for it. We got a lot of stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks. Next episode, not to give it away, but it's going to be our version or our tribute to Black History Month. So we're in the development stages of that. So, but definitely look out. You know, and there's going to be some substance to it. It's not going to be like, you were in grammar school and you're like, Dr. Martin Luther King died for our civil rights. He was born, and it's not going to be like that. We're not just going to be reading from cue cards or whatever. That was, if you were in elementary school, especially for us, it was around three of the walls, the Black history things. You had the inventors, you had the civil rights leaders, you had prominent Black people of Black history, inventors, scientists, and all that good stuff. But yeah, our next episode, episode 35. Let me figure out what 35 means. That's going to be our Black history episode. In episode 36 coming up, right in time for Valentine's Day, We're going to have a panel of male and females, and we're going to have just general questions about dating world, what they expect in a relationship, what they're not willing to put up in a relationship, what's the red flags, you know, all in the name of love. That's the song we're going to leave you with for this week. Google that. All in the Name of Love by Atlantic Star. It's a dope song. It's one of them songs that Jeremy will work out to. Jeremy works out to slow jams. So Jeremy, definitely
Yeah,
Google
I
that one.
knew.
You'll like that.
I got
All right, fellas, let's go around the table. Let's say our parting words.
Definitely like, comment, and subscribe. I'm sure you was entertained, inspired today, and definitely informed. So definitely like, comment, and subscribe. We definitely want to hear from our audience. So, let us know what you think.
Yes. Jeremy, what you got to say, brother?
you. Nothing, bro. I'm a man of little words.
Man, a few
No, I
words.
just want
All
to say
about
thank
that.
you all. Just yeah, thank you all, man. Just continue to rock with us as we grow and be patient. Comment, like, subscribe. That's it.
There you go. The Shack episode. It's a wrap. Peace.